The number one thing I wish someone would have told me in college was to never be in a long distance relationship. 1, they never work. 2, they never work. And 3, they never work. And 4, if it works, then you're just lucky. Just like divorce rates, it's a 50% chance. So it's either 1 out of 2 people, you're either going to be with that person or you're not. That's a huge ratio. Like 1 out of 2 people. I mean, maybe if it was 1 out of 10, okay, go for it. My first year of college, I was in a long distance relationship. To me, I felt like I was living on a different page. Like if we were supposed to be writing our story, writing our books, we turned a page to the next chapter, but for some reason we keep going back to the last page. What is the purpose of that? We already turned the page, so we need to start writing our new chapter. The second thing I wish someone would have told me was to not bring my car to campus. Going to NAU, it's a very green-friendly campus, but besides the fact of that, it's just bringing your car to campus and not knowing how to maintain your car. And for us, we live in the snow, so shoveling out your car in the snow when it's late at night or it's early in the morning, like that's something you don't want to do. That's like an hour of your time having to shovel out your own car. Not only that, you have to get a parking permit and then parking tickets. You get speeding tickets, and then you have to pay for gas. And last but not least, when you are driving your friends around, you have 2 other lives in your car. If you mess up, you're going to be liable for the other people in your car. The third thing I wish someone would have told me was to not live off campus. When I lived off campus my first year, basically I felt like I was in high school again. I went home, I went to school, went home, went to school, maybe took a shower, maybe used the restroom every once in a while, but that's all I had to do. And I think ultimately when you live in the residence hall, you have that connection, you have the ultimate support, you have people surrounding you at all times. I recognize that you want to have your own kitchen and you want to have your own bedroom, but to me I feel like go ahead, live in your residence hall for 4 to 5 years. You're going to get your own place eventually. You're going to have your own house. You're going to have your own family. Why speed up the process of growing up? You're going to grow up no matter what. At the end of the day, it's like do your 4 or 5 years in the residence hall, get the full college experience, make sure that you're feeling connected, because at the end of the day, if you don't feel connected, you're going to end up leaving. And I can tell you, living off campus, you feel disconnected from everything. The fourth thing I wish someone would have told me was to not live with my best friend. I didn't live with my best friend, but I lived with a friend. I think it's best to live with strangers, just because when you live with strangers, you have to build those boundaries. You have to say, you know what, this is how you live, this is how I live, and we're going to respect each other's boundaries. But when you live with your friends, it's like, oh yeah, we're best friends, this and that, but they're a total slob or they're a total neat freak, and it's really tough to live with them. But at the same time, when you live with strangers, that gives you the opportunity to learn how to work with another person, learn how to live with a different person, learn someone else's background, culture, and identity. Your tolerance level just increases a lot more than when you live with your friends. And not only that, when you live with strangers, it's for the next thing you know, they can become your best friend and you didn't even know it. I think living with strangers is a better opportunity just because not only are you expanding your horizons, but you're not holding yourself back. And if you don't get along with your stranger roommate, that's okay too. That just means that, you know, that's cool, that person lives their life, I see how they live, they're not that bad of a person. But, you know, that's just not the kind of person I want to surround myself with. But you have pushed yourself out of your comfort zone, which allows you to grow just a little bit more. So the last thing I wish someone would have told me, if you are a first-generation college student or a broke college student and you don't have the funds to pay for college and you're using FAFSA, in which that's what I did, I wish someone would have told me to not take out as much money as I did. I took out the maximum amount of money that I could have. I got $4,000 reimbursement, and that $4,000 went to unnecessary things. I wish someone would have told me, if you're going to take out that money, just take out what you need, and if you need a little bit more because family isn't able to help you or you just don't have those savings saved up for yourself, maybe another $500, but not $4,000 where you're just spending and blowing it. You're not even spending your own money, you're spending out someone else's money. So the last one that I can include in here is to not go home on the weekends. If you're in state and your home is close by, whether it's 2 to 3 hours, once again it goes back to going back to your past. I know for myself, I had a great senior year, so I wanted to keep going back to high school. You have to carry that on with you. Bring your pictures of your friends, whatever, your family, but going home on the weekends means that you're continuing to put your time and effort into fostering relationships that aren't with you right now. You have so many thousands of people on your campus, whether it's 1,000, 17,000, or 50,000 people. Everyone is going through the exact same thing. So feeling homesick is because you felt connected at home. There's nothing wrong with that, but recognizing every time you go home on the weekends, you're missing out on opportunities that are being presented to you on the weekends. Once again, the things I wish someone would have told me in college is 1, no long distance relationship. Whether it works for 6 months, 10 months, a year, you only get 4 to 5 years in college. And there's so many people that you're meant to meet. And so when you keep going back to that person, they're just holding you back. Imagine you're on the phone with them, you're on Skype with them, you're always texting them, you're never there present with the people that could possibly be your potential lifelong friends. Number 2, don't bring your car to campus. It just brings so many more expenses that you don't want. Number 3, don't live off campus. They have residence halls for a reason. You get to live with people that you never thought you'd live with. You have your resources at hand at all times, and you have the opportunity to feel connected at all times also. Number 4, Don't take out more money than you need when you get your loans, especially if you're going through FAFSA. If you don't have that money, then don't spend that money because it's not yours. And lastly, don't go home on the weekends. You're going back to the past. You're not living in the present and not creating those new memories and those new friendships for the future. One more thing I forgot to tell all of you is to not live with your best friend. Don't live with your best friend, live with a stranger. It's much easier to live that way because you're able to set those boundaries. Those are my 5 tips for me and to you to make sure that you're successful in your first year in college.